All right, guys, welcome back to the show. I wanted to talk about something. I just noticed something on the charts and on some of the exchanges. I've noticed it before, but today I thought I'll talk about it, right? Um, I'm sure a lot of you guys, many of you guys are probably trading on centralized exchanges and whatnot. But have you noticed after a major liquidation, how the exchanges do these kind of events where they want you to, buy more crypto or whatever, and they do these big, massive cash giveaways and whatnot? Well, got me wondering, where did they get all that cash from, right? After a major liquidation, where does it all come from? So, yeah, I mean, just thinking, just pondering, maybe you might have an answer. If you do, let me know in the comments, right? And those of you guys who are here for the first time, this is obviously Zero X Files. My name is Sham, I'm your host. I have these crazy theories a lot of the time, and my theories are nothing to do with what other people are talking about. These are fresh, coming from my mind, my own theories that I like to talk about a lot of the time. So, and I like to question a lot of the things, and this is one of those kind of a situation where I looked at, I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting, right? Where do the exchanges get all of that money to give away after a major liquidation? Because it just doesn't make any sense sometimes, right? And of course, it's been a while since I've done a nice little drive time video. Actually, no, most of my last ones were drive time, but I didn't drive during those ones. I actually parked up, which I might do right now as well, but I actually parked up to talk about it. But anyway, let's get into the show, right? So I just wanted to talk about that. But of course, what I want to talk about is the fact that we've been talking about for last few videos, right? If not quite a couple of weeks now, we've been talking about how it is possible for us to see up to about 50k. Anything below 50k would be a bit worrying, but 50k is good, right? When I looked at the charts today, earlier on this morning, actually, I looked at the charts, and just to give you a bit of context, the time now is 4:21 p.m. and I think, if I'm correct, it's the 21st of February 2024, right? All I know is a Wednesday, right? I think it is 21st. Yeah, tomorrow's 22nd, I think. Yeah. So anyway, just to kind of talk about this limb park up, right? So situation I'm seeing is like, okay, the market wants to go and tap on that 50k level. It's something I've looked at anyway. It looks it's okay when we do hit that 50k. It's a nice little trend. I'm talking about BTC. I'm not talking about the others. Remember what I always say, guys, when BTC takes a little bit of a flip, everything else decides to bleed out, right? Which are opportunities, right? And if you remember on the last few videos, those of you who follow each video as they come along, you will probably know that we've talked about a particular narrative, and I've been telling a lot of people about stop losses and whatnot, right? And I've even given examples. In fact, the last video that was released, this is quite funny, it released one day after I originally posted it. So a lot of you guys may have seen it the following day, but if you do follow the numbers that I gave on the video, it will make sense, because the day before I was talking about WorldCoin, how I set up a stop loss. WorldCoin, that price was the day before, so you would know that this was a one-day old video, hence why I'm putting dates and times and date on the videos, so that way you can understand what's going on, right, guys? Because I don't know why YouTube does this. Sometimes they take 4 or 5 hours. In this case, they took over a day to publish the video. Don't ask me why, right? Anyway, so we talked about this 50k narrative. Of course, many other people are going to try and come now and connect the dots and, oh, this happened or that happened in the market. It doesn't matter, guys. We talked about it. The charts was flashing 50k. Why was it flashing 50k? Because of 53k, right? We knew that 53k to 58k is a range, and the bottom of that range is 53k, right? So we want to enter that particular range. The first time we attempted it, we went to 52,800 and something. And then yesterday we attempted it again, and we did $52,971, I believe, right? So we were like around, what, $29 away from hitting that 53k. So as usual, what I always say, guys, if I'm seeing those numbers, believe me, there are other people who are also seeing these numbers, right? And if everybody's trying to now long the market all of a sudden because they also understand these numbers, they're getting ready to get wrecked. Unless there's equilibrium, you're getting ready to wreck. Now, getting ready to wreck doesn't necessarily mean, oh, bulls are taking over or the bears are taking over. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. You're playing inside a house. Think about it this way. You've gone and you're now betting, right, leverage trading, in the house, the exchange is your house. Who do you think is going to win? Right? Who do you think is going to win? The house is always going to win. So if you're showing the house all the bets, what do you think the house is going to do? Hence why I started off the video talking about where did they get all the money from? That's all you have to know, right? So, it's just curiosity and obviously certain things. But listen, guys, when I'm looking at the market, yes, it's bloody expected, and I haven't been talking about those numbers. I haven't changed my numbers as well. I stuck with the 50k for some time. We did go down, but we didn't go down to 50k yet. I think today we went as low as 50,600 or something like this, something like this. But we didn't hit that 50k threshold, which is fine, absolutely fine. What I want to talk about is there are some things I've noticed, right? On the daily, we are inside a range. Sadly, we've entered this range which we shouldn't be inside, because remember, ranges are dangerous, right? Ranges are dangerous. So yeah, that's something I don't like. However, on the weekly, we're preventing ourselves. So if we can hold this particular level above the 50k or even $50,500 level, and we can close a candle around this level by Sunday, we are super bullish, right? We are absolutely fine. This market was just a minor correction. Most of it was just liquidations. Not even a correction, it's just liquidations affecting the market. And we should be okay, right? However, if we do fall into the 50k and we close on Sunday around 50k, then we fall into a range. And the range, sadly, is from 50k or 49,000 something. I can't remember the exact number, all the way back to $40,000 level. So that's a big range, you know what I mean? So range, as I always say, I don't like range, right? Of course, nearer to the time when it's in a range, nearer to the time I can tell you what's going to happen. But unlike the way I can normally say, oh, it's going to go to this level, it's going to go to that level, can't do that inside a range, because that's when it's unpredictable. A range is technically a sideways movement. You don't know what's going to happen, whether it's going to bounce up, whether it's going to bounce down. And usually in a range, you want to zoom in as much as possible. So for me, even though the weekly it looks good, right, on the daily it doesn't look good. We're inside the range right now, hence why I want to see a recovery ASAP. So yeah, something people have to look at. Now, in the market cap, for example, currently we're sitting at about $1.88 trillion. So 1.8, we're just close to $1.9 trillion. That is giving me a good sign, saying the market is okay. Other coins are probably catching up right now as well. Again, not to worry. These are the times when people who understand the market structures and the trends will actually start buying the dips. I'm not recommending anybody to go and buy the dip. Whatever you do, whatever you want to do. Of course, this entire video is not a financial advice. Do whatever you want to do. But I always talk about how I love the red candles. And these are those red candle opportunities, right? A lot of the stop losses, a lot of the trailing stops that I had activated, right, especially the trailing stops for those gems that I was looking at, for those mid caps that I was looking at, the low caps and the mid caps that I was looking at, playing a few $100s here and there, they've all activated. So when the market bled down, I got to keep some of my profit, to the point where there was one or two coins as low as 5%. I even got to keep at as low as 5% profit. That makes a huge difference. Now that the market's bleeding out even further, I can buy a few more of those coins and recycle and do it again, right? Rinse and repeat and do it again. So I hope a lot of people acted upon what I've told them, and understand that, guys, these videos are not there for no good reason. Even though community members are asking me questions, and I go ahead and I try and answer those questions, like the other one I did regarding mindset, I can show you all day long on a chart, but that's the last thing you want to do. The chart is not important. If your mindset is not correct, if you have no strategy, what's the point going on a chart? Because you're just planning to get wrecked, right? There are people out there who do all sorts of videos like, how to make money, how to do this. How to save money is more important than how to, make money, guys. If you can save the money that you've put in the first place, you're the boss, right? I will say this. So anyway, but I'm not going to repeat this anymore, but just give you a lowdown on the market. Market right now, as I said, $1.88 trillion. BTC sitting at $51,111. Not to worry about at all. Again, as I said, I'm looking at 50k. Anything 50,500 is a good number. Anything below that, I'll start getting concerned. But Other than that, it's fine, right? And it's the middle of the week. Let's see what happens. And we do have a few hours for a little bit of action to happen. So that's when we're going to find out whether we're going to go down or go up, right? So I would say today around 8 p.m. is a good number. So UK time, 8 p.m., right, is a good number to look at. Watch the market around that time. You'll see exactly what I mean. I hope the video releases before that, so that way you can watch it at 8 p.m. Just put your timers on, go on a chart and look at it at 8 p.m. and you'll see what I mean, right? Anyway, Ethereum, $2,910. Brilliant, guys, brilliant. A lot of people don't understand. Ethereum just tapped 3,000, right? It just went above 3,000 as well. So if it tapped that, of course, there's going to be a little bit of rejection. It's an even number, right? So that's happened. Fine. Liquidations, right? Liquidations. Solana sitting at 103. Again, liquidations. Sitting at 85. I'm just laughing because I had a prediction for Say to go to 104. And then my exit was around 102. It exited it went to 103. The highest it went to was 103. And I exited and I was like, oh shit, I need to get back in. I didn't get back in. Right? This is the fun part. I was kicked out because my delta was so small that I got kicked out. And I've been sitting on it waiting for it to come back. Of course, it didn't come back to anything big, anything significant, but from 102 to 85 cents right now, 84 cents, I'm doing all right. So I might pick up some, right? Because I can see the market maybe coming back again. Of course, it might bleed down a little bit more. So I'm going to wait for the day to close and then see what happens. Then I'll probably move back into this. So, but as I said, there's a lot of opportunities in the market right now. It's a matter of you taking those opportunities and doing what you want to do with them. So other than that, guys, I didn't want to make this video any longer. It's about 11 minutes now. As you probably already know, I don't do scripted video. All my videos are unscripted. And I do them on the fly. Plus, I do not edit my videos. So whatever you see here is what's there. You may have noticed a little pause. That was because I had to cough. So I just paused it and then I just carried on. But it's a one shot, guys. Absolute one shot. There was no edits in there. But other than that, like, share, subscribe, and let me catch you on another one. If you do have any questions, guys, please do forward them to me in the comments. Let me know. If you haven't shared already, share with somebody, yeah, let me catch you guys on another one very soon. Let's see what the market does. It's going to be really interesting. I mentioned this on, I think when I did a video on Friday, I said, look, Saturday's going to be interesting. Sunday's going to be even more interesting. And Monday's going to be so much more interesting. So Monday was interesting. And if you probably noticed on another video that I talked about, so it's a little bit of a bonus. Another video I talked about, I said, look, guys, the Sundays are important, right? Even if it's a red candle, it's important, right? And this is what we have right now. So I'm quite happy about that, because it's not about what I said. It's about where that red candle is. If you look at it, it will make sense to you. Absolutely fine. So let's see where we go from here. Other than that, like, share, subscribe again, and I'll see you on another one very soon. Adios, my amigos.